Hello, what is happening, guys? I hope you're all doing well. So today we are going to be taking a deep dive into the character of Pyke, the Blood Harbour Ripper. Bit scary, bit serial killery. Let's get into it. So, the only things I really know about this character is that he is a character that is very prominent in Bilgewater. He is a kind of assassin-esque character, and he's scary as fuck. And also, he is in the game, not only the Ruined King game, which I have yet to finish, I'm fully aware, but also in League of Legends, he absolutely kicks ass. Like if I see a Pyke coming, I'm running the other way. Fucking terrifying. They're horrifying, and they're so good. It's just like, why just leave my Kale alone? So we're going to be delving into this character. We're going to be getting into the story, a bit of the wiki. We'll be having a look at some of the theme, the voice lines as always. So we're going to obviously start off as always with the story of Pyke. So let's take a read. Let's take a gander-rooney at the story. As always, this is on the League of Legends universe lore website, so always linked in the description if you ever want to take a read for yourself, if you don't want to hear my dulcet tones reading this out very badly usually. Okay, so let's read this story. So as a youth, Pyke started out like many in Bilgewater, on the slaughter docks. All day, every day, monstrous creatures of the deep were hauled in for rendering in the butcheries that line the waterfront. He found employment in a district known as Blood Harbour, as even the tide itself was not strong enough to wash away the red slick that constantly ran down his wooden slips. What a pleasant place that sounds like. Ooh. There was a couple of things like that kind of in the Ruined King, like sort of areas that look like that. I don't know if we went to Blood Harbour specifically, but we did go to a couple of places where there were some like remnants of like some of these like monstrous creatures from Bilgewater. But yeah, interesting so far. He became well acquainted with the trade, both the gruesome work and meagre paychecks. Over and over, Pyke watched heavy purses of gold being handed to captains and crews in exchange for the daunting carcasses that he and his fellows would hack up in saleable chunks. He became hungry for more than a few copper sprats in his pocket and managed to talk his way onto a ship's crew. Few individuals dared to hunt in the traditional Serpent Isles manner, launching themselves at the targets to secure tow hooks with their bare hands and beginning to butcher the creatures while they yet lived. Fearless and yet highly skilled in that regard, Pyke soon cut a name for himself as the best harpooner a golden cracker could buy. He knew meat was worth pennies compared to certain organs from the larger, more dangerous beasts, organs that needed to be harvested fresh. Does sound a bit serial killy from the start, you know, like, does sound a little bit serial killery, like, ooh, cool, getting some Jinn vibes of, like, the creepiness, not of, like, the perfectionist thing, but, like, the creepiness. Ooh. Depending on the difficulty of the hunt, each sea monster commanded its own price, and most desired by Bilgewater traders were jawfish. From its rage of Tooth Moor, priceless sacks of sapphirite were coveted across Runeterra for various sorcerous distillations, and a small flask of glowing blue oil could pay for a ship and its crew 10 times over. But while the hunting was with an untested captain, that Pyke learned where the life of blood and guts would land him. Days into their journey, a large jawfish breached, opening its maw wide to reveal a rows of sapphirite sacks. Several harpoon lines secured the beast, and though it was far bigger and older than any he had encountered before, Pyke leapt into its mouth without hesitation. Oh, so he like goes like down the throat of the jawfish? That doesn't sound very safe. Ooh. As he set about his work, a deep vibration began to stir in the creature's cavernous gullet. Rolling bubbles broke the ocean's surface, and an entire pod of jaws began to push against the tethered ship's hull. The captain lost his nerve and cut Pyke's lifeline. The last thing the doomed harpooner saw before the beast's jaws snapped shut was the look of horror on his crewmates' faces as they watched him being swallowed alive. But this was not the end for Pyke. That's horrible. So the dude literally like cut the line and left him like in there. Ugh. Could you imagine being like eaten alive? That's so bad. In the deepest fathoms of the unknowable ocean, crushed by the titanic pressure and still firmly trapped within the jaw's mouth, he opened his eyes once more. There were blue lights everywhere, thousands of them, seemingly watching him. Tremulous echoes of something ancient and mysterious filled his brain, crushing his mind, showing him visions of all that he had lost while others grew fat. A new hunger overtook Pyke, one for vengeance and retribution. He would fill the depths of the corpses of those who had wronged him. Back in Bilgewater, no one thought much of the killings at first. For so dangerous a place, the occasional red tide was nothing new. But weeks became months, and a pattern began to emerge. Captains from many ships were found carved up and left out for the dawn. Barroom patrons whispered it was a supernatural killer, wronged at sea, gutting his way through the crew, manifest, of some damned ship called the Terror. Once a mark of respect and celebrity, the question, "You a captain?" became a cause for alarm. Soon it was the Caucus too, and first mates, merchant officers, bankers, indeed anyone associated with the bloody business of the slaughter docks. A new name went up on the bounty boards, 1,000 krakens for the infamous Blood Harbour Ripper. Driven by the memories twisted by the deep, Pyke had succeeded where many had failed, striking fear into the hearts of unscrupulous businessmen, killers and seafaring scoundrels alike, even though no one can find any mention of a ship named the Terror ever docking at Bilgewater. A city that prides itself on hunting monsters now finds a monster hunting them, and Pyke has no intention of stopping. That is creepy as fuck. So he literally has serial killer origins. He was like, I want to go into sea, and I literally want to cut the organs out of these rare animals for moolah, and because, you know, I like it. And then he ends up getting eaten by one, and then there's like some kind of like mysterious like entity interferes with him, I guess, in the sea, and some kind of like mysterious like magical entity sort of twists his feelings and his like memories and everything, and essentially then he comes back and wants to like murder everyone, and it doesn't even seem like it's just people associated with the ship that left him there for vengeance. It just seems like it's anyone. That is quite an interesting start to this character. That's very interesting. See, because I actually, something I like to do, I actually listen to a couple of podcasts, and there's an interesting podcast I listen to about serial killers, about the origins of them and their stories and everything. And it's very interesting that a lot of these things are like kind of trademark kind of signs that you would see in someone that is a serial killer. So it's really interesting how they've clearly done their research, like the developers of this and the writers of this have clearly done their research into like the kind of almost like red flags, as you'd say, for a serial killer, and they've kind of translated it into this story. And I do love the fact that this game has this. I love the fact they've got this universe and they have these kind of serial killer-esque characters like Jin and like Pyke, because they're very real. They are in our current society, and I do like the fact that they've translated it and put it in the game as well. It's very scary. It definitely brings a very much grounded sense of realism into the game, and it's almost like, you know, there aren't just monsters in Runeterra, like there are humans that are monsters too, and there's a whole range of them, from, you know, actual serial killers to like leaders to like just like your next door neighbor. Like it could be anyone, you know. It's a very interesting thing in this game, and it's one of the things I love about the story is that they really have like they make it relatively realistic, and they, you know, they're not shying away from very real things that are like quite terrifying in the real world. Okay, well, let's read the other story from Pyke, because that was really good. I liked that. This is called Then Teeth. Mesa is sprawled on the rotten planks, waves lapping at the stone underneath. Her slowing heartbeat pumps blood into the sea water. She stares unblinking at the shanty dwelling above and the stars beyond. Pyke studies her face once more. Mesa's dead eyes stab at his mind. A jawling vessel, form master with tattered sails, waves the size of mountains. Long hair in the sea wind, dozens of faces on deck, watching. Blue eyes. Mesa's blue eyes, wide disbelief. Then teeth. Not Mesa's pearly whites. Gunky, sword-sized teeth. Criss-cross the boat, losing light, closing in the jaw's mouth. Lifeline slack, cut. God, that was a right flipping. You know when they put like the same letters at the beginning of each word? It's just like, makes it so hard to say. The tongue was too slick. Just the idea of like a giant tongue just like licking you. Ugh. Sorry. Ugh. Ew. I don't like it. Ugh. Eyes stung with sweat, fingers finding no purchase, get to open water, swim, swim. The jaw's teeth clamped shut, then pain, then darkness. The ship was gone, and so were the eyes. Mesa's eyes. An able-bodied sailor, she was there, she cut my line. Pyke nudged the body with his boot, gazing downwards all the while. He nudged her until she reached the edge of the dock. One more kick and Mesa is floating. The sharks are quick to feast, circling, snapping. The ocean never wastes time. Shriek. Their warbled cries caught on the wind as Pyke finds Mesa, able-bodied sailor, on the list. Red ink strikes her name from the parchment. That's the last name on the Terrace crew manifest. That's it. No more names, just a lot of red crosses. Where did I get all that ink? A feeling gnaws at Pyke, restless, unsettled, unsatisfied. The churning lurch of bile in his belly. He can't be done. There were too many of them there on the docks. Maybe he got the wrong manifest. Maybe it doesn't even matter. They let me die. So many hands, so many times. Another sound. Not gulls, not waves, not teeth closing. Not the voice in the back of his mind screaming out, "You're not done," over and over and over. Not the music he remembers from the swimming city all those years ago. It's a new sound, a real sound, a here and now sound. Pyke looks with his living eye and sees wooden stairs sagging under heavy bootfalls. A thick-set man walking down towards the moored bobbing vessels. He stops when he sees all the blood. His hand disappears in his jacket, pulling a flintlock, keeping the barrel of the gun close to his chest, ready to aim and fire like a bloody idiot. Pyke steps into the moonlight. The man looks like he sees the ghost. The skin around his mouth clamps up tighter than a dock banker's coin purse. His eyes go wide and quivery like jellyfish, like calm water catching a breeze. "Who's that?" he yells. "Come find out." The flintlock is aimed at Pyke's head. Then comes a flash and a bang. The shot is true but splinters wood because Pyke was no longer where he was. He's in the mist. He falls apart into salt and drops of water. A fine man to a fine mist. He heard they called him a phantasm. They're half right. The heavy-set man reloads. Sweat beads his wrinkled brow. In the few precious seconds, Pyke is all around him, then in between, somewhere behind the air itself studying him. Those fearful eyes, crap brown. What a description of eyes. Oh my god. Crap brown. I mean, if Pyke is going to describe something, that kind of sounds like how he would describe it. His beard wild and white, sagging jowls, crooked nose, cracked lips, the way his earlobes are cauliflowered from countless dirty tavern fights. Looks like a captain. The man reeks of sweat, prickly fear, good old boot-quaking terror. Smells like a captain. Pyke needs to be sure. He takes form. He was always a big man. Now with the baleful glowing eye that the sea gifted him, he feels larger still. "Tell me your name," he rumbles. The man didn't expect anyone to appear behind him. Nobody expects that. Maybe they do in fantasies or nightmares or the stories they tell in bars, but in reality everyone just craps their pants and falls flat on their face. What? I love the fact they're just like balls to the walls, just going for it. I love it. It's great. And this heavy-set captain is no rule breaker on that count. He trips on his own stupid boots and rolls down the stairs like a sack of tinned victuals. Pyke takes a step slowly. The Noxian galleon is moored at the dock. Trader ship or traitor ship? Is there a difference? He guesses not. You got till I get to the bottom of these steps to tell me what I want to know. The man wheezes, his wind clearly not clear of in someone else's sails, gasping, a fish on land, chubby hands reaching out. "I remember you." Step. White knuckle grip on the deck rail. Step. The man tries to stand, but his knee bends the wrong way. Step. You were watching. Step. A wharf rat scurries close. Dinner time soon. You were smiling. Sputter. Tears coming now. "Please, I don't know what you were talking about." Step. Name now. Beak Nid. Pyke pauses to consult the manifest one step from the bottom. All the red marks, all the crossed out names. There, Beak Nid, midshipman. Uncrossed, clear as day. Must have had the paper folded wrong. Beak Nid. Yeah, I remember you. You were there. "I've never seen you before. It's my first night in bilge." People can't lie with the hookman's barber lodged in their cheek. Oh! They can't beg or trade facts they don't have. Fine tool, the barber blade, made of tempered shark bone, keener than steel, sticks in real good, snagging on bone and flesh. Struggling, it only hooks deeper as Beak is learning. His eyes are really afraid now. Those eyes stab at Pyke's mind. The memory rises like a tide and he opens up to let the waters come crashing through, drowning out Beak's gurgle please. A jawling vessel, four-masted with tattered sails, waves the size of mountains. Ragged beard in high sea wind, dozens of faces on deck watching. Crap brown eyes. Beak Nid's crap brown eyes wide in disbelief, then teeth. Wow, so he literally is at the point where like he's literally killed everyone that was on that crew, but it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. He's just gonna kill anyone. He's gonna essentially, the reason for it is because he believes that they were there when he was getting essentially eaten. Like, that's crazy. Wow. that is scary. Like, I genuinely, when they were describing about like the weapon like going into his cheek, oh man, genuinely gives me chills. Like, that is absolutely horrifying. Pyke is scary. This is not a joke. He is flipping scary. That was really good though, very descriptive, very creepy, and I really think it fits Pyke's character very, very well. Okay, I think we need to have a read of the wiki as well. I'm intrigued to learn a bit more about this character. Unfortunately, there isn't a great deal of history about Pyke. I mean, obviously we learned a little bit in the story that he was sort of raised in where like the Blood Harbour was, and he sort of like learnt the trade there, but like we don't really know much else about Pyke, so we'll kind of see if it gives us anything else in the trivia bit. So apparently Pyke was not resurrected by Nagakaboro, so the Shadow Isle's Black Mist, but he was resurrected by the magic of the Jawfish. So he's part ocean, which makes sense, and he can magically turn into sea mist and swim between the air, which to be fair did make sense because he literally did it in that story that we just saw. So the Mist / Mordekaiser cannot control Pyke. He's a different sort of undeath. His powers are probably tied to the spirit world in some way. They are boons of the swimming city. That sounds, I would love to see a video where you get to see what Pyke sees when he's like swimming around. That would be so cool. The swimming city, mentioned by Pyke multiple times, is noted as being a very real thing, a city that literally swims and never stays in the same place. This is noted because Pyke is stated to never lie. Pyke's death and resurrection warbled his mind significantly, so what he's saying isn't necessarily false, it's simply being distorted through madness. So he's never lying because what he's actually saying he believes is true, because he has like had his mind twisted. Oh, the swimming city might not be what most people consider it to be. The city is like a global mind if like a city and its inhabitants were to live as one, or maybe something even more complex. It's not the same one that Fizz used to live in as it's active and alive. Pyke can't seem to remember or understand the names of the lift being altered. He occasionally remembers being manipulated by a higher power but doesn't care. He believes that before drowning he was a sailor aboard the Terra, however no one has records of that vessel, and Pyke's list keeps increasing. It's like the Terra is a fabrication from his own broken mind and a way for whatever gave him his powers to keep Pyke interested in killing people. The ship he was a sailor of was a different one, with one known member being Lars, who Pyke later killed. Oh, see, because I wonder if like in his mind he called it the Terra because maybe that was like the terror that he felt when he like got killed like by like the Jawfish, and also like he's getting vengeance because the shit, he believes the people on the ship are evil. Like maybe that's his own like twisted mind doing that. Despite similarities to Nautilus lore, Riot decided to keep Pyke's lore the same because they felt there was enough room for two deep sea revenants that desired revenge. Oh, because I was gonna say I don't know a great deal about Nautilus either. Pyke is a half Burrow Islander, a half immigrant. His mother was from the Serpent Isles and his father immigrated to Bilgewater from the Freljord or from the outer territories of Noxus. Oh, his favourite food is salted pork and his favourite beverage is red wine with salt water. And after the Ruin King's return, Pyke became benevolent as a result of Nagakaboro's influences, but may eventually return back to his murderous state. I mean, I did kind of wonder why Pyke ended up working with them, because I'm presuming that Misfortune would be on Pyke's list because she's a captain. So I did kind of wonder how that would work, but yeah, I guess that must be what it is. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Okay, so the next thing we are going to watch is we've got a couple of trailers for Pyke as well, which is super exciting because not every champion has a great deal of trailers, but it looks like Pyke's got quite a few, so this is very exciting. So we're going to watch these trailers first and teasers, and then we can get into the voice lines. So let's give this a watch. I'm really excited to see what they do with this actually, because I've only really seen Pyke in the Ruined King trailer in game and then in League of Legends, but I've never seen him in like a trailer or like a cinematic or anything, so this is very exciting. So let's give this a watch. Oh, there he goes.
I remember the day I died. And those who betrayed me.
Oh.
Yes, I see them. I see the faces of all who were there.
Oh. Oh, wow. Ooh.
You look familiar.
No, I don't. No, I do not. I do not look familiar at all, mate. Oh, that was fucking terrifying. I'm sorry, but that art, sorry, can I just say, that artwork, wow, this is fucking gorgeous. Like, holy shit, this is beautiful. In a terrifying fucking way, but oh my god, it's beautiful. Wow, sorry, I think there's a bit more of the trailer. Oh, maybe not. Wow, that was amazing and terrifying at the same time. Holy shit. Okay, we do have another trailer, so let's give this one a watch as well. Oh.
The world saw me drowning.
Oh my god.
And did nothing.
Oh. Ooh. Wow.
Never turn your back on the sea.
He has got the coolest fucking voice. Oh my god, I'm so excited for these voice lines because his voice is so creepy, but it fits the character so well. Oh, that looked cool. That was really, really awesome. I liked that a lot, actually. Okay, he's also got a Wild Rift trailer, so let's give this a watch too. Oh, here he goes. Oh. Oh, the animations are so cool. Oh, wow, he just walked right in, didn't he? Oh no. Oh. Oh, just let the money go, mate. Oh! Oh, God. Oh my god, is that, wait, what the, is that Nautilus? Oh, I think that was Nautilus as well. Oh, wow. Oh, I mean, that was, okay, I mean, that was fucking sick. Oh my god, that looked fucking cool as fuck. Holy shit. I fucking love pirates. It's great. Oh. Okay, so we are now on to the part of the video where we go through the voice lines. We get to learn a little bit more about the relationships with some of the characters with Pyke as well, and just some of his motivations. So I'm very excited to learn about these. However, I will just say the characters that I'm expecting Pyke to sort of have issue with are mostly any characters associated with Bilgewater, any captain characters. So for example, like Gangplank, Misfortune. Apart from that, I'm not sure. There are a couple of characters that I'm quite looking forward to seeing if he has interactions with, like Alawi and such. But yeah, for the most part, like, I'm not really sure who else Pyke would really have an issue with. I don't know if it's anyone, like, outside of Bilgewater. Like, because, I mean, we know, for example, like, with that guy that that came to Bilge Water that was in the story, Beak, I think his name was, like, it was literally his first night in Bilge Water, and just because he looked like a captain, it made him a target. So it makes me wonder, like, if there's any characters that kind of look like they could be sort of captain characters or associated, like, would Pyke just kind of go for anyone? So I'm quite curious to know if that's going to be the case, if there's any specific criteria Pyke has, and yeah, just some more of his motivations. So let's take a gander at these.
Sink 'em all. Hard days killing ahead. I was born where monsters die. I died where monsters are born.
Ooh.
Ain't no high ground high enough. Not for the storm that's brewing. Captains always favor the ship over the crew. The crew on the Terra watched me get swallowed by a monster. The world saw me drowning and did nothing. The deeper I sank, the less I died. I sank so deep, there was no up or down. I seen what lurks below. Lots of eyes. Bottom of the sea's the top of another world. There's no sunken cities, just a swimming one. Used to call them monsters, but they changed my mind. Deep folk have a way with persuasion. I know who I am, mostly. Salt water flows through my veins.
It's weird because it almost sounds very like trance-like. I mean, like, even with like the echo in his voice, it sounds like he's almost under this like trance, you know, like he's, you know, because I mean, it was saying that like the jewelfish is like magic has like kind of warped his mind. It kind of almost sounds like he's sort of like in a bit of a trance, and he's mentioning this like the swimming city, and I wonder if like his mind is almost like trapped in that swimming city and everything's becoming distorted, like water would kind of like distort, you know, when you're underwater, it kind of distorts your vision and everything. I kind of wonder if his mind is being distorted by like this swimming city, and it's really twisted his memories. And I wonder if like the jewelfish's magic is almost using him as a way to get rid of like the sailors and everything that are killing the monsters of the seas. It's almost like the ocean's revenge. Like Pyke is like a tool for revenge for the monsters of the sea, in a way, is kind of the way that I'm kind of looking at it. And they're trying to like get rid of like things that are going to like kill the monsters of the sea. So it makes him a very intriguing character. This is super freaking interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just like, ooh. And I think he was easier to manipulate because he already had some of these like traits in him, and he already had the potential to get to this point, I think. So yeah, I think they've almost like twisted his like bloodlust towards monsters and put it towards people, but made them the monsters, hence why like the ship was named like Terra, is the way I kind of see it.
Captains told me to kill fish. Fish told me to kill captains. Makes sense. The only good captains are drowned, Captain. My new bosses don't care about gold. Not sure whose revenge I'm getting. Don't care. A war's brewing. I chose my side. World don't do fair and equal, but I do. We'll all be underwater soon. I'm still lost at sea. Tasted the good life once. Needed salt. My kill list never gets shorter. I want to watch the world drown. Everyone's got a million apologies in them. Sink like an anchor. Float like rum. Everyone sinks till they don't know more. Everyone's fighting to keep their heads above water. Killing feels like home. Work hard, die fast. The other way's worse. Hard-handed folk deserve a better death. Solid ground feels too stable. Nasty people meet nasty ends. I got friends everywhere, especially in the depths.
I wonder if he has any like regrets, like if like the Pyke that he was before he got like distorted by the magic, I wonder like if he's like still in there, does he like remember things? Is he like essentially trapped and wanting to be let free? Or is he like pretty happy and content and happy to be like this now? Like, I wonder which one it is, and I wonder how much he knows from being like manipulated like this. It is pretty intriguing, actually. Yeah, also his character design in general, I do really love it. I think it's great. I love the fact that his like face mask has like the same teeth as the jawfish. I love the fact that he's like clearly representing them. He's even got like an actual like jaw from the fish itself, and his weapon is so gorgeously designed, but it's kind of terrifying, especially when you think about like a hook in someone's face. It's like, ugh, that would not be pleasant to get stabbed with. Absolutely not. Yeah, it's interesting. His design is fascinating, though. I was gonna say, I really like it. It's cool.
Kill until it all sinks. I look down at the world from the bottom of the sea. Krakens cry when you slice their throats. Haunting sound. Sometimes a shark takes the bait and sinks the whole ship. I'm not the only one who wants revenge on everyone. Dragon sharks got teeth the size of butcher knives. We took too much. I'm collecting the debt. Leviathans learn. People I'm not so sure about. The bottom of the ocean ain't no part of this world. Never trust anyone who cowers behind a desk. Monsters lurk above the waves. Last thing I ever drank was priceless. No one swims in the same waters as me. Everyone's gotta sink sometime. People can drown pretty much anywhere. My mind ain't all my own these days. Madness lurks below. Drowned madness walks the land. The sea is everywhere I go. No one's been lower than me. Don't know where I end and the depths begin. I floated all the way to the bottom. Found there ain't none. Went too deep. The deep came back with me. The surface won't be the top much longer. Got a hook with your name on it.
Ooh.
Oh, look.
Creepy.
Your name's on the manifest. Heard a lot of last words. Forgot 'em all. I'm gonna drag you down to the swimming city. Pretty face. Shame if someone stuck a harpoon in it.
I'm gonna presume that's either to Misfortune or maybe to Gangplank, maybe. Presuming it's to Misfortune. Because Misfortune, I'm definitely going to presume, would be one on his list. Especially because she is essentially, like, the leader of the pirates at this point. She's, like, the pirate king, pretty much. So, because obviously she defeated Gangplank and kind of took over Bilgewater. So I do wonder how high on the list she would be. Probably very high, I'm presuming.
Last vessel you'll command is a coffin. Let's see if you got guts as big as your guns. Gotta keep my hooks rusty. Harpoon's hungry. I see shark food. Smells like fancy, Captain. I remember your face. You watched me drown. No.
It's intriguing as well, though, because he almost like has a viewpoint of the humans now, the way that like the monsters view the humans, which is like quite interesting. Like he just kind of sees them as like food almost for like the ocean, and like that all he's gonna do essentially is just put the ocean in, like put the bodies like into the ocean, and he's pretty much just like they get like the ocean is just gonna overtake everything, and like he's gonna have like the ultimate revenge. But then it's fascinating because he was one of the people that was like hurting the ocean before as well. I wonder if there are other people that have been affected in the same way, or that have been like in this swimming city that he was mentioning before as well. and the awareness of other people for those things, especially for like creatures of the ocean. So for example, like Fizz or like Nautilus, like I wonder their awareness of like the jawfish's magic. I'm just wondering like, and also there's also like other leviathans that he mentioned. Obviously we know that Nautilus, for example, is absolutely massive, and we know the jawfishes are quite big as well. There's clearly this one of legend that he ended up encountering, but it does make me wonder like if there are other leviathans in the ocean that we haven't quite encountered yet, and if there are ones in the future we will encounter.
No one's innocent. Show me your hands. You got clean hands. Soft life. Yes, you were there. You cut my line. Nobody threw me a line. Get your hands dirty! Kraken chum. Gotcha by the guts. I will take my fair share. We are old blood. Tire him out.
See, that clearly isn't his words though. Like, that is not from him. Like, that is not his words. I genuinely think that this must be, like, this jawfish's influence. It must be. He essentially must be, like, possessed. Because, like, saying, like, we are old blood, like, that isn't going to be coming from him. Like, he isn't, though. So, he definitely is, like, I know his mind's been warped, but he must be, like, somewhat possessed at this point as well by whatever this creature is. I'm just wondering, like, what it is. Like, it's just, like, I know it said, like, the jawfish is magic, but, like, is it the jawfish itself? Is it some kind of, like, magical creature that can, like, possess the actions? Is it, like, I'm just wondering what it is.
Split them open. Bleed them out. Hack them up. Chop them to bits. Never turn your back on the sea. Time to chum the waters. Live bait. I smell panic. Drown him. Gonna sink you. Hope you're a swimmer. Swim or sink.
I would sink.
With me.
I would just sink.
Gulp your last breath. Let the water drag you under. I'll carve you some gills. Sink. Breathe the brine. Sink till you float. Float to the bottom. They said you ain't innocent. Everyone's adrift. Drag 'em under. The deep will crush you. You gone too deep. Good luck treading water. Kick all you want. Don't matter. Found you. Sweet revenge. War mother means captain.
Oh. So, I mean, that's talking about Freljord. So that's going to be Ash or potentially Sejuani there that he's talking to. So it's the same thing to him. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter where someone's from. It's still a leader. It's still as a captain. That's interesting, actually.
Big payday. Your sermons damned me, Alawi. Oh, it's for fancy dead folk. You betrayed me, Callista. No more captains.
Oh.
Sleep.
It just doesn't matter who it is. It's like, you know, like Callista is like someone, I think she's on the Shadow Isles, so like she wouldn't really have much to do with Pyke, and it doesn't matter. Like, she still betrayed him in any way. She was still there even though she never would have actually been there. And it's the same with Ilawi. Ilawi was not actually there, but her link and Nagakaboros, it's actually quite interesting that clearly whatever this magical entity is, clearly it and Nagakaboros don't necessarily see eye to eye as well, which is quite interesting. And the fact that like they're working with the humans makes Nagakaboros, clearly there's some animosity there between the two kind of entities. And also the fact that like Alawi is seen as like a captain because she, like, you know, is like the priestess of like her people.
Yes, let the water fill you. No thrashing.
Ugh.
Sleep.
Ew. I don't like that whispering.
Drink it in.
I don't like that whispering.
Rest now.
I'm okay. I'm good.
Sink with me.
I'm okay, thank you.
Welcome to the abyss.
I don't like this whispering.
Welcome to the swimming city. Misty out there.
Oh, so he's saying welcome to the swimming city. I wonder if... So the swimming city is supposedly what he, like, travels in, right? If I'm interpreting that right. So what I'm wondering is that something to do with his mind, where, like, the memories... Because he was saying that, like, he remembers the eyes of everyone that, like, he kills because they were there when he died. And that's why he's getting revenge. So I'm wondering, like, if the swimming city is, like, his place where, like, the memory of the bodies kind of go, and, like, almost like the eyes of all of his victims go, so that he can go to that swimming city and, like, remember everyone he's killed, because that's what his way of, like, oh yeah, like, I've got revenge on all the people that, like, watched me die, but oh no, there's more, so clearly there's not enough bodies here, so, like, I need more. Or whether or not he's talking about, like, the ocean itself, because, like, he can travel through the ocean, like, or, like, that's where, like, the jewelfish is, like, city would be in a way.
Getting murky. Swim faster than they run. Going under. Deep below the surface. Fog's rolling in. Kicking ain't swimming. Swim between the air. Heartbeats carry underwater. Breach! Rise! Out of the murk! I am the deep. Gonna get 'em. Coming up!
When he says I am the deep, it just makes me think of the boys, and I'm like, you don't want to be the deep from the boys. Just, it's not an image anyone needs of Pyke and an octopus. Like, no one needs this image. I hope, if you guys have not seen The Boys, you're not going to understand that reference, but if you have, that's just not what we want. Oh no.
Breathe! Let's see you get mouthy with a harpoon in your neck. Butcher's bill came due.
Bloody hell.
Finally quit kicking. Another name off the list. Welcome to the water. Now to dump the body. Wait. Hold fast. Don't. Hold up. Steady. Back off. Leave him in the dark. Darker than a captain's soul.
Ooh.
Blind them. Now they got blind spots. They can't see nothing underwater. Sun don't shine here no more.
I like the way the tone of his voice changes with certain things. Like, it's almost, it's like, he has, like, very, like, deep notes sometimes, or, like, his voice is, like, really, like, deep and very, like, low, and then there's certain times where his voice will, like, rise a little bit more, and you can almost, like, see, like, hear, like, the excitement in certain bits of his tones, and then there's parts where, like, his voice is just, like, completely different, and also, like, it's interesting, there's also times where, like, his voice sounds a bit more distorted, and then there's times where it sounds a bit normal, and I do wonder if that's a bit more of, like, a deliberate thing. I wonder it's also whether or not how much of an influence the entity that's kind of, like, affecting him is having, and how much of it is like him.
Salt in their eyes. Cut the strings before they can pull them. Sunk the buoy. I work better with a crew. Sometimes you need an extra hand. Backup would have helped. Needed extra hands. A crew comes in handy sometimes. Hit that one. Take 'em down. Take 'em down. Bets ready! 2 sunk. 3 souls lost. 4 to the swimming city. Did I support right? Big day for the old murder list. I don't like you. I like them less. You're growing on me, like a barnacle. On my ass. You're not on my list.
Wow, he's really got away with words.
Yet, keep it that way. Oh, wait. I wrote it on the back. You're on the list, but at the very, very bottom. Here's your share. I get mine, you get yours. Crews share the wealth. Part of the kill, part of the gold. You pulled your weight. Something for your effort. I ain't greedy. Leaving you. Don't get yourself killed. Be right back. Stay put. Going to work.
Oh my god.
Leaving.
Jeez.
Current takes me where I need to go.
Didn't think his voice could get any lower.
Swimming city's calling. Going under for a breath. Don't wait up. There's no way I'm good for business. What's worth more? A pound of flesh or a gallon of blood? We're already drowning. All we got to do is open our mouths and let the water in. There's plenty of room for everyone at the bottom of the sea. The rich man's a lion man. The lion man's a dying man. No one's honest till they get a knife in the gut. Every kill makes the voices louder. And I love what they're screaming. Went too deep. Part of me's still down there. Swimming.
Also, sorry, I just realized it said voices, so I do wonder, is there multiple, like, entities affecting him? Is it like, I wonder who the voices are? I wonder if it's like, I don't know. I'm curious as to whether or not it would be so manipulative as to use something like something that Pyke knows or someone that Pyke knows to almost like manipulate him into doing certain things, or would it just be like the jawfish itself, like talking to him? I'm so curious when he's saying like voices, what does that mean? But also I wonder if the reason why his voice changes at certain times is because he's been manipulated by certain voices at that point. Just wondering. It would be an interesting thing if that was the case.
I've killed a lot of monsters. None of them lived in the sea. Been to the bottom of the sea. Gets a little deeper each time. Keep a man down long enough, and the gutter becomes his kingdom. We're already on the menu. All we gotta do is crawl in the pot. Boil. Nothing swims past me. Got my eye on you. Light in the murk. Lure 'em in. I got no blind spots. Keep 'em in sight. Never leave their eye line. Keeps the fog away. Can't lose sight of 'em. Light in the deep. Like an angler shark. Kill with one eye open.
Okay, I think we could probably miss those bits.
Hard to laugh with a hook through the cheek.
It's true, yeah.
Sands shift with the wind. On a whim, monsters lurk beneath our feet. Dunes have a way of sneaking around. They buried me. I'll bury them. The Underdunes got a plan. I got dragged to the heart of the world.
Oh.
Cold down there. The sea of sand pulls everyone down. Been buried alive. Sand gets everywhere. Sand runs through my veins. Can't hear my heart no more. Learn to breathe sand and nothing'll stop you. Sandstorms blowing in. Gonna bury you. Sand in your eyes. Got silt in your mouth. Quicksand's pulling you under. Sand to sand. No fancy tomb for you. Welcome to the Underdune. Buried 'em deep. Sunk beneath the sands.
So for that skin, they had a completely different, like backstory, which is the thing I love about the different skins of this game, is that like they come up with their own like individual story for like every single one of the character skins. I think that's super fascinating. Oh, okay, so the voice lines did very much solidify like everything that we knew and sort of thought from the like stories that we heard. We didn't really learn too much more that was new, just a little bit more about the voices that are manipulating him. I think it created some more questions, but was definitely an interesting experience. There wasn't really any kind of character that he specifically pointed out too much. Obviously he mentioned Callista and Alawi, but apart from that, I mean, he didn't even mention like Misfortune or Gangplank by name. There was obviously some lines that were kind of implied that could be towards them specifically, but yeah, it was interesting that it was like Alawi and Callista. It just seems like I mean, Alawi I'd kind of expected, but like Callista was a bit of a different shot in the dark that I didn't really expect, but was definitely interesting. And I think there were a couple of questions in there that I think were quite interesting, so hopefully maybe there are some answers that we can get from that. But yeah, interesting. All right, so we have a couple more things to watch. So the next one that we're going to watch is the Legends of Runeterra reveal trailer. So yeah, let's give this a watch as well.
All ships, I'm one of them. They thought they were safe. Coming up! You're on the list. I smell panic. They all sink before they float. Drown with me.
Oh,
Where there's blood, there's monsters.
oh wow.
Tide's rising. Crossing one off.
Ooh.
Funny who you remember. So many names. I'm just getting started.
Oh my god. That was cool.
A murderer has surfaced. Guard yourselves, Demacians.
Ain't them I'm here for, darling. Something sharp for you. The swarm's always hungry.
You face a prince.
Never killed a prince before, far as I know.
Nor will you. Demacia.
More names off the list. More names on it.
Whoa. Okay, Pyke is a freaking strong ass card flipping heck. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to check out today in regards to Pyke is the login screen as per usual, so we can have a full listen to his theme. So let's crack on and take a listen. I think from what I've heard of this so far, I do really think it reflects the character very well. It's definitely very eerie. Oh, the movement. Oh, this is cool. So good. Ooh, oh, that's creepy. Oh, wow. I will just point out, I don't know if you guys are noticing this as well, but whenever like the background distorts and it like begins to like darken around him, afterwards his hand shakes. I think that's a really like specific detail, and I think that's very, very clever as well. I think that is probably showing like the influence that this thing is having over him, as well as like his mind warping and like almost like the anger coming in, like he can't hold it back, like he's shaking because he's like, he has this like urge that he needs to like go and hunt a captain or hunt out one of this crew and kill them. It's, oh my god, it's such a good detail. Like, look, and then he handshakes. Oh. Oh. Yeah, this music is absolutely perfect for this character. It is really good, especially this bit. This almost could be like a bit where it's like very peaceful, because maybe he's like made a kill recently and his kind of the urge has sort of gone down slightly, and then it's probably gonna rebuild back up, I'm guessing. Yep, there it is, the urge coming back up, I think. Yep. Yeah, this could be him like trying to find a victim or something as well. There you go, he's found them. That was also intriguing though, because the fact they introduced the voice in there as well, when like, I think the bit where he was like hunting or like attacking his like victim, I think that like that might have been like the voices in his head that were like talking to him about it and everything. What an interesting way of representing his character's mentality. I think they did that super well with that login screen. It is, and like his actions as well, very creepy, fits his character insanely well. That was like fantastic. Very, very creepy character, but very interesting. Guys, I think I'm going to leave this video here for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't forget to leave me a comment as well to let me know some of the characters that you want to see me do in the future. But also as well, if you have not had your character, kind of me having gone through it yet, it is coming. Do not worry. I've had plenty of requests for characters you guys would like to see. So it is on its way, but just leave me suggestions down below. As always, that'd be very much appreciated. And if you also don't know, I'm also a Twitch streamer. So if you want to come and check me out over at Twitch, it's georgieegames over at Twitch TV. It's all down in the description below. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll catch you very soon.